go!
Fresh off the adrenaline spike provided by Bella Reed's epic evening on the 18th, our team's attention only gets sharper. Opening day in Iowa looms in the distance, and there is no shortage of anticipation for what is coming. Each year we get the opportunity to head to the field chasing this adventure as a blessing, but this year is special. Tyler Bellman and Justin Lubrecht have put their best foot forward all summer long, working overtime to get food planted on BBA. And though the rains have been minimal, no-till proves its worth with deer on the fields every night. So far though, the duo have chosen not to hunt, with the heat continuing to linger and many bucks still missing that called the property home last season. All of that changes the day following Bella Reed's triumph when the #1 buck on Justin's mind returns. Velveeta, nicknamed for the multiple years of velvet sticking on his antlers well into the season, is alive. If his range is anything like the prior season, Justin and Tyler have a plan. Back in Iowa, my outlook on the newly acquired Permission Farm couldn't be any better. Up to this point, the wide 6x5 and drop tine buck have consumed my every thought as I try to speed scout and develop a plan for opening day. Add now to that excitement a giant mainframe 9 with brow tines that tower over any other buck roaming the woods. With only intuition and Onyx to go off of, I too must make a plan. My Cuddyback camera wasn't the only one to light up with a beacon of good news. Over in eastern Iowa, Zach Rosmus went into the summer having drawn up a play with hopes of relocating a great buck he encountered the previous season, that at the time he knew as young stud.
No way.
Draw up the play, execute the plan, and wait. The price of admission was well worth it, and the buck now known as Whopper ranges through, marking a scrape tree in the newly established Monster Buck green plot. "45 miles to the northwest of Zach, Kaleb Greiner is doing everything he can do to have the season of a lifetime. With the last intel on the massive giant known as Lucky coming in the middle of August, Kaleb heads to a nearby property with a multitude of historical and current reasons to be excited.
All right, camera 3. Go into the link menu. 3. Make sure it's got level. There's a vine scrape right here. There's a deer. Look at this deer that's past the vine scrape. It just put its head up. See it? Where she's at, actually, where she's laying down. This used to be a food plot. This is the same field that I killed that tripod deer out of. I've had a lot of really good encounters though out of this stand, this pin oak over here. And we're just getting cameras put up. We checked a couple so far. These are Rye's cameras. Rye's on this farm with me this year. He ran cameras on it last year, and in exchange of him running cameras, he's gonna hunt this. He's trying to hunt the Type 10, and obviously if any of those other deer, like the beasts or the non-typicals, were to show up, I'd be mad at him if he didn't shoot at them. All right, we got plenty of signal. Heck yeah. Check this out. This is the stuff where I planted. Look how good it's coming up, dude. Dude, let's FaceTime it. Look at it. It's all throughout here. Sick. I mean, it's nothing special, but like, we can get a stand right there in that walnut. It's nothing special, but look at all this. I mean, this is a great example of something you guys can do, you permission farms. We had a bunch of deer damage, bunch of coon damage and deer damage in through this corner. You can see it, it's just all knocked down. And Ray came in here, broadcasted, what's that mix? Can't remember off the top of my head what mix he did, but one of the Monster Buck mixes that is specialized for coming in and broadcasting into standing crops, well, it's coming up awesome. Sweet, that's gonna be money.
Kaleb wraps up his work on the river farm. That same day, 117 miles to the southwest, Owen Riegler is gearing up for his most aggressive play on the world-class buck known as the Loch Ness monster yet.
So as far as we're going, we'll carry it from here. We're gonna slip in here, get our work done, and get out. Because I know he's using this right here during daylight. And I'm pretty sure he's been real close to this, so we gotta have one more set for an east wind. That's the only one I don't have a set for, so that's what we're doing today. The things you do for a deer, I'm telling you. Much to my surprise, this Loch Ness buck is daylighting right here in this plot. It's the first time I've ever had a daylight pattern on him on any year. He's walking out right over there, so we're gonna try and pop something up right here, see if we can get an east wind stand. It's a big plot, it's almost 2 acres. Makes it a little tougher to get them pinched down where you want them, but we'll be in the game at least. Been dreaming my whole life of this deer. The view up there is unbelievable. The lush green plot. When he steps out, it's going to be magical. So we are hoping that's the case. Yes. Hoping no one can make a shot on a little bitty buck. I'm trying to psych myself up. Just, you know, I've said before, these big old bucks, they put on their fur one leg at a time like all the 6-year-old bucks, so he's not invincible. Ooh, that sucker's sharp too. That's a Jim Dandy there. Thank you. This is some of that monster buck we planted right here. It's got purple top in it, radish, soybeans, kale, crimson clover, and there was a little alfalfa here to start with, so that's what's here. And I was hoping this Loch Ness buck would find this, and he did. He found it and he's on it, so I like our odds right now. Pretty pumped up about it. We got the stand hung, just putting the finishing touches on the camera stand. And we're gonna slip out of here. Be back on October 1st. Yes.
With the board set for a showdown with the buck of a lifetime, all Owen can do now is keep shooting his bow and wait on the sideline until the match kicks off in Iowa. While Owen waits, not everybody is in his position. That same evening, 226 miles to the south of Owen, longtime team members Corey and Monica Wolf are gearing up for a highly anticipated evening hunt, and for good reason.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail. It's September the 20th, Corey and my anniversary. We've had lots of luck in the past, so I'm really pumped about not only that, but the weather has been nice. We had a cool front come through. Not just that, but Corey saw some nice bucks over here in the soybean field where we're going to hunt. You can't see it from the county road, so seems like tonight's the night. We'll check it out.
It's about 20. Meh. Just take your time. Get another arrow. I don't think that was a good shot.
No. This stupid
I
thing
know.
was in my way.
Sorry.
Terrible.
I know it wasn't a good shot.
I've never shot so terrible. I just don't know how I shot so far to the left.
I think
Because he was angling that
you were
way.
in a bind.
I was trying to compensate for this stupid
Yeah.
thing, I think.
Hey, bad shots happen. It happens.
That sucks. That sucks that I messed it up.
Hey, bad shots happen. What matters is how we react to our bad shots, okay? We gotta give the deer some time.
So we watched the footage, and it looks like I may have hit the femoral artery, and he was bleeding pretty good. We're gonna go check for blood before it gets too dark, and go from there.
Well, it's 5:15. Next morning after Monica shot her buck. We have a busy day, so I'm go ahead and get started trying to find her buck. I did trail a little bit last night because I like I said, I thought she hit the femoral artery. After a while, it was pretty obvious she had not. So I tracked on just little pin drops of blood for about, Onyx says, 250 yards, somewhere in there. And then I found huge globs of blood everywhere. And then I could see her lighted knock across the valley over here. So I'm coming in a different way and just gonna, while it's dark, try and find her lighted knock. So that is the plan. I'm gonna go see if I can't turn up her buck.
Smelled something dead. Not what I was looking for. Yep, dead. Man, he is sweet. He's a sweet buck. He is sweet, Monica.
I know.
He is big, Monica. Yes! Found him. I could see a lighted knock last night. I could not find it back this morning. I walked right by him in the dark. I'm not saying I would have found him this morning in the daylight right away. I would have had to retrail him. But he got up from his bed last night and he moved about 40 yards from that pin. I'm gonna get him gutted at the very least. Field trip starts in 2 hours, so, and they're not gonna move the field trip for me. It's only 65 kids. So anyway, we found him. I'm so pumped.
So here he is, our anniversary buck. He made his appearance last weekend when Corey was hunting by himself in the soybean field, and sure enough, my husband knew where to hang the stand. Here he is. I'm so excited that my mother-in-law volunteered to watch our boys so that I could get out in the woods, and so thankful for my husband for hanging the stand, for recovering this deer, and for making hunting so much fun.
Corey said it best. Bad shots happen. What matters most is how we react. For most of you watching, you could agree it's not a matter of if a hunter will be in Monica's shoes, but when. Process the information at hand, be patient in your approach, and show persistence to the end. You might just find yourself like Monica, sitting behind your largest buck to date. 2 days later, back in Iowa, Kaleb is at it again. This time, he's out with Steve, a landowner turned friend who gave Kaleb permission to hunt in the summer of 2022.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Oh,
We all saw how the chase for the pearly white antlered buck Hog Jr. went, and now it's time to execute the next phase of the plan to give back to Steve for the opportunity. If you forgot, that plan is to help Steve punch a tag on the growing legend known as guards.
Comfortable, but he'll have a lot better shot opportunity here. Let's say if we have a stand that's there and we have a south wind, the wind's gonna be blowing back behind us, so everything in front of us, we're gonna be safe.
The other one I thought of last night.
Don't you think, kind of like this a little bit?
Yeah.
We'll still have to get a pole saw. I'm sure we're gonna have to cut some of those.
Right.
I don't think you could reach the bucket that high.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think we need to go back this way to get level, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a killing tree.
With multiple stand locations set overlooking the rut green spot, Kaleb ends the day with a surprise gift for Steve, his Hoyt Carbon RX-5. Having already ended one story on this property, attention turns to the future to see if history will repeat itself once again. While Kaleb and Steve fine-tune their shooting, 50 miles to the north, another member of the Reed clan is hoping to cash in on her already executed practice. Brynn, Mike's youngest daughter, has decided she wants to go hunting after watching big sister Bella tag a buck the week before.
Well, it is September 23rd, and we are back out at the home farm. We're in the same blind that Bella shot Big Mac out of, and Brynn's up to bat. Brynn is 8 years old. She's in the 3rd grade, and she shot her first deer 2 years ago, late season with the crossbow. She shot a big doe. And last year, we talked a lot about coming out, but never made it out. Every time it came time to practice, she had something else to do, and so I have a rule that we got to practice if we're going to go hunting, and so last year we never made it out, but this year she's been very interested in going, and we've been practicing a bunch. She shot the 22 and the 17 quite a bit, and then she shot 4 shots out of the 350 today. 2 at 50 yards and 2 at 100 yards, and hit the bullseye. So shooting good. We shoot the lighter caliber guns just to get used to target acquisition, getting a good sight picture with no black in the scope, keeping your eye on the target, all those types of things without worrying about recoil or the noise. And she's been having a lot of fun shooting, and we're excited to be out here. It's a little warm. It's 82 degrees, and we have a southeast wind, so this really is our only spot to come sit. This spot sets up really nice for early season, as we talked about in Bella's hunt. We've got the brassica plot here, a bunch of turnips and radishes, super lush. Down along the creek, there's water. It's nice and cool, and it's tucked up into the bedding area, so a lot of times it's the first area the deer come. We want to hunt that bottom bean plot where Droopy came out last weekend, but wind's not good for that, so we decided to come back here, and Droopy could show up here. We also have a mature 8-pointer, and then the buck that I was trying to get Brynn to shoot 2 years ago.
It's Finn.
Sven, that's right.
Finn, not Swin.
I can't say that animal's name. What's Sven's name in Frozen?
Sven.
Sven. You gotta say the S a little bit.
Sven. Sven.
It's Finnish.
Finish.
Brynn's ready to go. Bella's here to cheer Brynn on and help her with any questions she might have. We're gonna sit back, enjoy the hunt. We have 2.5 hours to go, and hopefully Brynn can get her first buck. Hey Brynn, I think we should wait a little while. Is that okay?
Please, even a good angle.
Yeah, they're all pouring out now. Belle, look at those goats. You see them going across the turnips? Oh, it's clear glow. Do you like it? The big one, yeah, you see his big rack.
Yeah, I think. Oh
He's licking. That's right. You see how he's facing us a little too much? When he turns sideways, he'll go up the back of the leg and shoot him right in the middle of the body. Take some patience. Stay ready. Stay ready. Okay, you ready? You ready? Right on the shoulder. I think so. Look at him.
Where is he?
He's running right there. Let's see what he does. I see him. I see him. I think he just went down right there. He might have gone over the hill. I'm not quite sure.
I saw where the shoulder was.
You followed up his leg and then went mid-body. Good. He mule kicked. He kicked really hard back behind him. You had to be so patient. You had to wait. He was facing us. You had to sit there. And it took a lot of patience, huh? So we just looked at the footage, and the shot looks back as far as I can tell on the LCD screen on the camera. I did see him stop up on the hill there. He ran up there with his tail tucked. I thought I saw him go down, but then I saw his rack again, so I think he was just standing there in the brush. And then I think he made it over the hill, which that's the center of the property. It's supposed to get cool tonight. And obviously there's no point in going and pushing him and jumping him and all that good stuff. So a little bit of a dampener on our excitement, but it happens to the best of us. So we're gonna get back to the house and check the shot and make a decision.
I shot him in the belly, so I don't think that's good.
Yeah, it's not what we tried to do, but we're gonna go look at it and see. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Well, we just got back out to the farm. It's about 9:15, so it's been 3 hours since the hit, and we're able to get home and take a look at the computer and watch the hit back a few times. She actually hit right where she was aiming. The deer moves his leg forward, and she just didn't adjust with the leg moving forward. And the impact is right there. So it's back of right lung and liver. And it's certainly gonna be a dead deer. Hopefully we can recover him tonight. We're gonna go take a peek. We had a little bit of rain come through. We're not gonna tear up the whole place tonight, but go look right there, see if we see any blood, then maybe just take a little look around. Hopefully he's laying right there. He ran right up the hill here. You see the blood? See the blood right here? That's a lot of blood. I think we're gonna find him.
Oh my God, my ears stopped. I got it. I found him. Oh my gosh.
He didn't go anywhere. Can I get a high five?
Oh yeah.
You got him. What do you think, little lady?
Wow, that's a huge deer.
That's a huge deer, Rye.
Hello, I found the buck.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in a big bush of thorns, so that was very challenging for us.
That is a challenge.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you for your dedication to this, Brynn. This is so great.
Yep.
We'll see you when we get home.
Love you.
Come on,
Love you too.
Bye.
Well, here he is. This is the crab claw buck on the home farm. We filmed him last year a couple times. Made a nice jump this year, great looking buck. And we weren't sure which buck was gonna show up in this brassica plot tonight, but certainly the odds were in our favor that one of the good ones would show up. And it was fun to have Brynn in the blind. She didn't hunt last year, and this year she was anxious to go. We had big sister Bella in the blind to help coach her along. In fact, the second this buck showed himself, Bill was like, "Get ready, Brynn, that's a shooter." And it's pretty fun to witness all that. And of course the shot, we were a little concerned in the blind. Like I mentioned on the recovery, I mean, he didn't go 10 yards past where we had last seen him. I just wanted to err on the side of caution. We had a little bit of rain in the forecast. I didn't want to bump him. He was stiff as a board when we walked up to him, so I don't think he lived very long. And just a really cool buck. Another great buck out here on the home farm. What do you think, Brynn?
Yeah, I think this is a big buck, and we have had a good night today.
That's right. Well, we can't understate the power of a solid green food source this time of year. You know, that monster buck brassica plot topped with extra dose of radishes. This bottom plot, it's hidden away next to the bedding area. It's cool, you got the water in the creek there. All the beans are turning yellow and defoliating, and man, that is a hot spot. So 2 sits down there and 2 mature bucks.
Time and time again, hunts like Brynn's reinforce a point that's been driven home more times in a car rounding the oval at your favorite racetrack. Food is king. Palatable forage packed with attractive nutritional value paired with a location tight to bedding is the ultimate recipe and worth every ounce of sweat to create, if you can. In some cases, this tactic simply isn't an option, and other strategies must be deployed. The following day, Kaleb continues his September push to ensure he's prepared to chase the once-in-a-lifetime buck known as Lucky.
All right, so we're on the Lucky farm today. Yesterday we were wrapping some stuff up with Steve. So today we came in here to the Lucky farm. We actually did pull cards. Lucky was here on the 7th. He's a little further back, so it looks like he's a little smaller, but still, I think that's him. Not 100% sure. There's a lot of crops that are starting to come out right now, so hopefully he starts to get back in here, because this is the most cover that's in here. But the one thing I have noticed about these deer that live out in the small draws or out in the open flats, it seems like their ranges extend more to that 8 miles, sometimes even in a radius. So it's pretty crazy how far these deer travel. We're gonna let Lucky lay low until he just shows up. Season's right around the corner. I'm pumped about it. Wow, that's dry. This could be like the missing piece of the puzzle.
All Kaleb can do now is wait and see if he truly has located the missing piece to find Lucky back. At this very moment, 6 full days stand between the bow hunters of Iowa and opening day. While most of us await the calendar page to flip, Kaleb goes against the grain and seeks out a different opportunity. That comes in the form of a lead provided by Midwest Whitetail intern Shay McTighe, who knows somebody in Northeast Ohio where a special CWD zone is currently open for hunting.
All right, Seamus and I just made it to Ohio. What was the drive? Probably 8 hours.
Yeah, probably 8 hours.
Probably 8 hours from home. I wanted to get here so we can scout first thing tomorrow morning. So hopefully we can see some deer coming back into the woods tomorrow morning for feeding. Maybe we can get on a deer. Here's the split of the alfalfa. 3 rubs right here. 3 good rubs. They're probably transitioning from bedding, which is probably where those deer ran. It's probably where the bucks are, the safest, most secluded spot. And they're probably working out, eating down acorns. That's their transition into the destination ag, which is the corn. I'll just mark it like this for now. That should be perfect, honestly. Right in there. Just an inch to the right. Let's roll. Day 1, we were in Ohio. We're in a special unit in Ohio where we're allowed to hunt earlier than the regular archery season due to the CWD zone that we're in. I'm pumped to be in a tree, especially it's my first time in a tree before October 1st, so leaves are falling, acorns are dropping everywhere. I'm grinning ear to ear. We've got an acorn flat right in front of us, and in that flat's where we saw this sign today. We threw a couple tracks out. We'll see how it goes. Ohio, here we go. It's probably like a do-it-yourself. Well, that's gonna wrap up the first sit of the year. Overall, really good sit. The deer were doing pretty much what we kind of expected them to do, coming out of the corn, munching on acorns. We saw a good amount of box, actually. Probably try and get back in here tomorrow morning.
The following day, 625 miles back to the west, I'm just arriving home from a trip to Missouri visiting the Redneck Hunting Blinds headquarters. Both the Big 9 and Drop Tine are showing consistent activity near the apple tree, a now notable location on the Big Bird property.
Well, good morning. It is September 27th, and as we told you last night, we were going to be out putting that hay bale blind on the Big Bird farm today for the Drop Tine 10-pointer, but clearly that did not happen. And the reason why is I was checking onX here before we got on the road and noticed that, and this is just a tool that maybe folks who have onX aren't using, this optimal wind selection. I've got this set for southeast wind on that blind pin. It actually let me know that we got north winds today. And so ultimately decided we were not gonna go in there. There's no point to blow our wind right into this bedroom that I think our target buck is using. And though it is a very active part on the farm, I mean, pretty much every single day, the landowner is coming through here. You know, I've mentioned that he's got honeybees, he's maintaining his native stands, he's planting trees. It's, you know, it definitely makes sense why these deer are using this property, and it's something I cannot take credit for. Going back to why we're using this redneck hay bale blind, long story short, we don't get access to any of the trees around this particular location, and more importantly, there's a native stand, like I've mentioned multiple times. That's what makes up this farm. So on this mowed path that the farmer uses to get around, I think we're gonna be in a good spot putting the hay bale blind on the west side, first and foremost, because if we're hunting this deer in the afternoons, I don't wanna be on a different spot that could silhouette us. You know, if we were facing the west, that could light us up, any sort of movement could be enhanced, so we should be blacked out pretty dang good. The other aspect is our access is a little bit cleaner. We don't have to cross this path where I'm expecting these deer to come out. And then finally, you know, I mean, it's gonna give us a 15 to 20 yard shot. So, you know, this buck has been coming out quite often. One interesting observation is that when he does, it's always pretty much in the daylight. So I think that despite opening day, you know, again, talking about onX features, I know we're getting a little heavy here, just talking about the app over and over, but something else I use it for is looking at the weather. You know, we've got a full week's forecast ahead, and as you can tell, less than ideal. You know, we're talking high 90s consistently all the way through the 4th, but in this situation, you know, here's a buck walking pretty often. I think that based on how much damage we're not going to do walking in and getting out, we're gonna hunt it. You know, I probably wouldn't do that in a different scenario if I was having to get aggressive and dive into the bedroom, for lack of a better term, but it's a pretty unorthodox setup. It's certainly not the place that I would have made my prediction we would be hunting a big deer come opening day, but hopefully things go smooth tomorrow. We can get that set up and we'll be in there opening day.
While I continue to strategize for drop time, back in Ohio, Kaleb is wrapping up another full morning of speed scouting and shooting his bow in preparation for his second hunt of the trip.
All right, we just got set up. We moved the stand earlier today about probably 100 yards. The first day yesterday when we came in here and scouted, we put a camera up right below me, and as we were putting that camera up, there's just a load of sign. And for some reason, they're really using this creek bed that wraps up around us. And there's trails galore in there, but there's so many acorns that have gathered in there. Last night, we got a mature buck feeding with that little 8-point that came in here. There's some good bucks in the area. I told Shay this feels like a killer set. I think we'll get an opportunity tonight. They're running, chasing each other. Ohio is not disappointing. I mean, what do you know it? Shay says, big buck. I turn around. I mean, there's a good buck. It looked like a 4-year-old. I want to say it's a little dark in here. I couldn't judge him that great. My goal is just a mature deer, but he was a good buck. Oh man, I'm pumped. We probably leave this set here. We're going home to Iowa. I will be back soon, hopefully really soon. It's about 2 a.m. We are trucking back, making good time too, but we got about an hour left. We gotta get some stuff done back in southern Iowa. Lo and behold, we were driving and Shay was passed out. I woke him up. I was too excited. We got pictures of a buck that I'm really familiar with, deer that I call OG. Back when Lucky was 3, he was I believed he was mature, so that makes him a 9.5-year-old this fall. Looks like a really good buck. Things are gonna get dicey this fall. I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm trying to psych myself up. Just, you know, I've said before, these big old bucks, they put on their fur one leg at a time like all the 6-year-old bucks, so he's not invincible.
Wow, that's dry. This could be like the missing piece of the puzzle.
Hello, I found the buck.
Wow! I'm so proud of you for your dedication to this, Brynn. This is so great.
That green is literally right here over my shoulder, and it really does look really good. I'm super impressed that that worked out. Just right up that edge. It would be ideal, wouldn't it?
It's been a fun day of getting this blind built. Where that drop down deer came up was down this path. There's water over here, there's standing corn. Hopefully these deer do it just for a few more days. One of those bucks steps out, we're gonna try to get it done. And can't appreciate Alex's help enough. I'm excited to kick off the season here.
The month of September came and went in the blink of an eye, stirring a wave of anticipation for the incoming season that surpassed our team's highest hopes. It's been 264 days since the bow hunters of Iowa have been on stand, and now a single sleep remains until buck tags morph into potential lottery winners. Though the weather forecast looks less than thrilling, our excitement doesn't waver. After all, at this point in time, nearly everyone on the team has a buck to chase, and chase we shall. Tomorrow, the road to adventure begins again. The road to chasing November.